What's up, Carcino for Life fans? Um, Once again, people are getting more talk to this Joe Budden Slaughterhouse situation with the group more than any project they have ever done together as a group. The rise and fall of Slaughterhouse. This is the most promotion they've ever received. So when Royce and Joe is complaining like, you guys have just took a multi-million-dollar brand and just released it and did that with it. You just burnt it all to the ground. I mean, what multi-million-dollar? Nothing was invested into Slaughterhouse. You guys was some local hip-hop underground, yo, they dope type of artists 20 years ago. None of these young folks are checking for Slaughterhouse. Okay? The only thing that caught the young people's attention is what just happened now. So that's the realization as to what's going on here. Now, you've heard Joe and you've heard Royce, but now it's been mostly Joe going back and forth doing this, right? Now, the whole world will hear the other side of the coin. So, without further ado, this is Crooked talking about Joe's situation, and he brought receipts. So, enough of me talking. Hit the like button, good people, and listen to Crooked.
So, Crook, I had a really good question. I figured I might as well ask you, because this is something that came up in one of our chats the other day. Why choose Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse over Hard 2?
Well, when we decided that we was gonna sit down and do an album together, the only thing we could think of was, damn, man, this Slaughterhouse shit was beautiful. But we just couldn't get it off the ground again. And I said, you know what? Let's write about it. Because it's always on our minds. It's something that gives us low vibes. We get off the phone feeling bad. Let's turn that negative into a positive. Let's talk about it. Let's tell the fans this story about how it all went down. Let's give closure to them on the fact that, we could have just left it floating in the air and just never would have came back, and that's it. But like I said, I'm an artist. I write about the things that I go through. And this is something that I went through. And that's people like, y'all try to do this for a bag, or y'all, that's a fake narrative right there. That's fake news. That big old bag I had on the table disappeared when them two guys said they didn't want to do it. It was gone.
Hey, Crook, I just wanted to ask if after a while, after time passes, would you leave the door open for a possible reunion?
You know why I won't do it? Because that shit is heavy baggage, my brother. It's heavy baggage. At some point, you gotta have self-care. At some point, you gotta say, you know what? I don't want to open that door again because it was bullshit going on in there that I don't want to go through it again. You know what I mean? It's crazy to fly from California to Detroit in the middle of the winter when everybody has scheduled on their calendars that we're gonna meet up and make music, and then you get there and Joe never show up. And then I called Joel and like, yo, why you ain't here, bro? I'm here. I'm in heaven right now. Man, I talked to Joe. He said he wasn't showing up. So if he ain't showing up, I figure, why am I getting on the plane? Because, it ain't gonna be Slaughterhouse. So now me and Royce are down there making songs together. Ended up with 10 joints that's sitting in his hard drive. You know what I mean? And we made these songs to, guess what? To pitch to the other two. Like, well, fuck it. Even though they didn't show up, even though I left Cali, even though I'm be out here for a week or two, let's make something of it, put some music together, and send to them guys. We still thinking about the squad. That's where that some song comic book comes from that Royce previewed on his IG. There's only my verse and his verse on there. And when you think about a reunion, it's like, dog, I just need to move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need to get out of here. I don't wanna reunite. I don't wanna do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I just wanna leave it where it's at and keep moving because there ain't gonna be no reunion. Dude, like I said the other day, March 27, 2020, I was laying in the hospital with wires connected to me. And that day I knew I can't wait on nothing in life. All my dreams and goals, aspirations, I gotta go get them because life ain't promised. And it ain't like we all 20 years old around here no more. You know what I'm saying? So why spend time and energy on something and then people get on their IG live and pretend that everything that I did was nothing and pretend it was meaningless. I can't deal with that, my brother. I don't want to put myself through that again, man. Self-care, bro. We all see the memes, protect your energy, but when somebody start really protecting their energy, it's a problem.
No, I appreciate
Hey,
you.
I got a well, I need a feedback from you, and I got a question. Feedback is I ran across a Twitter handler that supposedly does AR under DJ Premier, and he brought up that PR Mind was actually originally was for Slaughterhouse. Royce pitched it out, but a couple of the members of the group did not want to move forward. There was some complication, and also it was somewhere in the article that Royce himself brought it up. Can you speak on that? And the next question is, if it wasn't for this whole shady deal that Joe wasn't feeling, do you think it would have been another outcome of this whole situation?
Well, on the first thing, when Royce hooked up with Premier, I do vaguely remember him saying something about he wanted, to do an EP with Premier, Slaughterhouse and Premier. You know what I mean? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was still drinking at the time. You know what I mean? So, when you tell me things and I'm halfway through a bottle of Jameson, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. But not to make any excuses, I know myself. Anytime they ever asked me to rap, I rapped. Whether it was on Joe shit, whether it was on Royce shit, whether it was on Joel shit, I'm on all they shit damn near. I'm on all they mixtapes damn near. Whenever they invited me to the booth, I rap. So if that was the case, I can't sit here and say it was me. It might have been. I might have been like, nah, I think we should do this right now. Who knows? You know what I mean? But the problem is things are presented without being fully full. You don't get all the details. You know what I mean? Like, if you give me the details, like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this EP with DJ Premier. It's gonna come out under this umbrella over here, and we're gonna go and tour it out. And you give me the plan. It's like, okay, I can run with the plan. Nothing was really brought to me on that type of level that I can remember. You know what I mean? So, and then when it comes to the shady deal, Joe checked out of the shady deal way before. He checked out of the shady deal like super, super early.
Yep, he sure did.
And without telling us. So mentally, he was gone. We didn't know it though. Because he's still in the studio recording Glass House. So he was already mentally not in the group or with Shady in his mind with Glass House. And this is something that me and him discussed on the pull-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, yo, when I signed that contract with Shady, I already knew I wasn't going to give him more than one project. And I said, well, why didn't you tell us? Because if you would have told us that you wasn't going to give him more than one project, we could have all sat down and said, okay, so now what are we doing here? But he didn't say nothing. We recorded a lot of music. We tried to, after the Glass House kept getting pushed to the back, we kept trying to get it, hey, we'll do Glass House. Royce even called Paul, like, listen, we could finish the whole Glass House at Heaven. and we can make this happen and such, yada yada. But that was after Joe got on Everyday Struggle and said what he said about him. So at that point, Shady was kind of like, you don't really want to work with that guy. We can't trust him. And finally, after years went by, Joe revealed to us that he's not doing nothing on Shady, right? So my whole thing is, you could have told us that way earlier, and I think that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why the pull-up episode never came out, because I questioned him on that. Like, yo, you signed a contract, and then you saying that you didn't plan on honoring that contract. The day you dropped your signature, you already knew you wasn't going to honor that contract. You didn't tell us, so we don't know what's going on. And then I told him, you out here right now to do a deal with Puffy for Revolt. You think you need to be on camera talking about you don't honor contracts right now? And you're in LA to do a deal, a contract with Puffy for Revolt? What you think Puff gonna do? How you think he gonna feel when he look at this?
I'm surprised anybody wants to do business with the dude at this point, if they ever do in the future. He's a scary dude to enter a joint business venture with. Just his track history.
It's very tough, man. It's very tough. And, people like, oh, that's him being him, whatever, cool. It's all about what we're willing to tolerate. In this point in my life, I'm trying to move into spaces with people with positive energy.
And that's all you really have to go on right there, because now that foundation has been laid. The foundation has been put out there, so the whole world knows. And now we gotta definitely move the envelope forward and start to push out a new reality. The new reality is everybody gravitates to negative energy, to that, what they call the algorithm pushes out that negative energy out to the world. Now, Mr. Joseph Budden has profited largely on the fact that this negative energy and negative vibe keeps him thriving in the business, keeps him relevant in the business. But without negative energy, Joe Budden podcast dies on a vine. So he needs to search and gravitate for it. And now that this done landed in his lap, he ain't gonna just let it go just like that. He's gonna milk it to his dry. Unfortunately, at the expense of two of his closest friends. Joe will sacrifice friendship. He will sacrifice anything he can because it's all about him. That's it. So doing business with him, doing any type of relationship core activities with Joe, it shows you in the end, all of these friendships blow up. Right? He can't be around women. That blows up. This man has 9 lives and he continuously stays in the business. Why? I have no idea why they keep him around when he has done nothing but use his platform to try to get at women who weren't interested, kept pushing the envelope. You've seen him be rude and blowing up on women who want to speak their minds. You've seen him be condescending towards women, from a male chauvinistic point of view, and yet he's still in his position. Now you got to start asking yourself why. Who has been protecting him? Now, with that being said, I want to say thank everybody who has subscribed to the page. I want to say thank you to all the people who have donated to the page. Your donations and everything has been tremendous as we move forward and promoting the Saginaw STEM. Has been an absolute success. The after school program every Tuesday and Thursday, it's teaching coding and trading to young kids who want to get involved, and it's up and running and doing well. And if anybody want updates on it, all you have to do is check in. It's exactly what we said it was going to be. So God bless all of you. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget, subscribe to the page, subscribe to @KwameBrownBusLife, subscribe to Ticket TV, subscribe to Straight Talk, Self Talk, and I'm out.